No, there was not starvation in Gaza after 2005. No, there was no deficit of goods coming in. I've been plenty of times.
There was no deficit?
No, there are
no
plenty
goods were kept out.
There are plenty. How many? Have you been to the crossing points?
No.
When were you last there at all?
I've never been.
You've never been?
Well, am I not allowed to talk about it now? I've never been to. Have you ever been to Nazi Germany? Are you allowed to have feelings about them?
You can't time travel, but you can.
Right.
But you can travel.
Okay, but so what? So what's the point? Like,
no,
okay.
I find that
lots of people have been there and agree with me, and lots of people have been there and agree with you.
Yeah, but
so
if
I don't
you're
know
going to
what
spend a year and a half talking about a place, you should at least do the courtesy of visiting it.
All right. I just think this is a non-argument.
You don't think?
Okay. No, I think it's a non-argument.
But if you're an expert,
well, you have to go and touch the ground.
No, I think you have to see. I think it's a good idea to see stuff, particularly if you spend a career talking about something. Yes.
Again, I think this is a non-argument. I don't understand.
No, it's not a non-argument.
Yeah, it is.
It's not a non-argument if you're insisting that you're an expert of some kind, or not claiming you're an expert but still talking about it, about the provisions going into Gaza or not. If you've never seen any of this going on.
So you're not allowed to speak about
me.
things that you've read about. You can only speak about things that you've seen with your own eyes.
You've read about this blockade, and so you imagine that that's what it is. I imagine you've read all the people who say that Gaza was a concentration camp, and you probably think that too.
I mean, again, it literally a concentration camp. It shares a lot of similarities, I would think.
On a recent episode of Joe Rogan's podcast, Douglas Murray, a man who's actually spent time in war zones, studied the Middle East, who's done the work, sat across from Dave Smith, a comedian, zero field experience, zero geopolitical background, and even less accountability. And the result? A slow, surgical dismantling. And this episode isn't about Joe Rogan. This is about what happens when a man like Murray walks into a room full of confident nonsense and pushes back with facts. Dave Smith sat in the Rogan chair representing everything wrong with the "I'm just asking questions" generation. He downplayed the October 7th massacre, suggested Israel had no right to self-defense on this level, floated libertarian non-interventionist lines as if they were meaningful in the context of slaughtered civilians. Then Murray stepped in. Didn't yell, didn't posture, just stared him down and started speaking in facts. And you could feel it. The air shifted. And Murray made it clear there's a difference between having an opinion and being informed. There's a difference between skepticism and denial. And Smith had no comeback. He'd never been to Israel. He's never been to the region and admitted it. And when you show up with facts, like Murray did, confidence folds. And Murray didn't attack. He educated. He was very polite. He explained the history of Hamas, the context of October 7th, and the nature of what we call asymmetric warfare. That's what we fight in counterterrorism. This episode of the Aaron Cohen Show is brought to you by Merkava Coffee. This is the official coffee of the Aaron Cohen Show. And when I served in the IDF, coffee wasn't just coffee, it was fuel. And in the special operations world, there were nights with no sleep, missions that stretched for days, and no room for mistakes. Coffee was serious, and it kept us sharp, locked in, and ready to move. And let me tell you something, I still take it seriously. And that's why Merkava Coffee, strong, no nonsense, battle tested, no fluff, no gimmicks, just good, bold coffee for the people who need to be at their best. And if you start your day like I do, like it's a mission, you know why this matters. Hit the link down in the description and grab yourself a triple order and help keep the lights on and support the Aaron Cohen Show. Appreciate you guys. Smith, who had walked in ready to spar, found himself outmatched not by aggression, but by clarity. This is what debate looks like. One man citing intelligence reports, known facts, historical records, another talking about vibes, libertarian slogans, YouTube clips, and I haven't been there, but I've read about it on Wikipedia and the reports. It wasn't even close. And Murray used surgical language, calm tone, precision facts, made sure anyone watching could draw a clear line between emotion and evidence. And Smith started backing off, moving goalposts, saying things like, I'm just saying people should be allowed to question without having traveled there. No, Dave, you need to do your research. You need to be in a counter-terror unit. You need to be a journalist. You need to be on the ground. Wikipedia and reports put out by Hamas or other NGOs or government entities aligned with a terrorism group is not information. Reading Wikipedia pages is not intelligence gathering. But that's not the debate. That's his deflection. And Murray made sure that wasn't going to work. So I want to talk a little bit more about what this all says about the platform. And I want to be very clear about this. Rogan didn't act like a villain here. He brought Murray on. In my opinion, that was the right move. He's probably been getting some heat about that. Too many conspiracy idiots on lately talking about free Palestine. And maybe he feels the pressure to balance things out. Maybe even Rogan knows his platform has been a megaphone for a little too much idiocy lately. But he admits it. He admits that he doesn't know what he's talking about. But here's the problem. Dave Smith shouldn't have been in the seat to begin with. This isn't a boxing match. It's not a UFC fight. This is geopolitics. This is war. This is anti-Semitism, terrorism. And if you don't know what you're talking about, then sit down. Because when people like Smith speak unchallenged, it's not harmless. It shapes public perception, and perception drives politics. And Rogan's mic, whether he wants to admit it or not, is too powerful to be treated like some open mic night at Mitzi's Comedy Store. So I want to hit the decline of Joe Rogan a little bit more. There was a time when Joe Rogan was refreshing. He asked the questions nobody else would. He gave airtime to voices outside the mainstream. That's what we loved about the show. And for a while, it was pretty awesome. It meant something. But the truth is that was years ago. And now the platform hasn't really evolved. It started to decay. The same comedians, the same contrarians, the same lazy cycle of, I'm just asking questions, while platforming people who don't deserve the mic. And Rogan used to challenge that power, but now he seems to protect it, especially when it's wrapped in that fringe ideology, anti-intellectualism, or, what just looks like straight up ignorance. And the worst part, he knows he's not the guy that he used to be. And that's why he brings on people like Douglas Murray to try and balance out the damage. At least that's what I think. But you don't have to fix the mess by bringing in one adult after weeks of chaos. You fix it by rebuilding the standard. And Joe Rogan still has a ton of reach. I think it's almost 20 million followers. But his relevance, his edge, it's fading. Because the world's gotten louder and Rogan is still stuck in 2016. This isn't a takedown. This is a realignment. That mic got too big too quick. And the man behind it got a little too comfortable. I want to talk about the dangerous power of vibes. Rogan doesn't win with logic. He wins with vibes. Guy's calm, he's casual, he laughs, he nods, he drinks on the show, smokes a little doob. So when something insane gets said, it kind of feels normal. And to me, that's the most dangerous kind of propaganda. The kind that doesn't sound like propaganda at all. It's not forced, it's friendly, effective. Because when you wrap a lie in a hoodie and a laugh, millions are going to accept it without question. That's the dangerous part of the show. And there's a cost to letting it slide. And every time someone like Dave Smith gets the mic and no one pushes back, what happens is the lie grows louder. The kid starts thinking maybe Israel's to blame. College student starts believing, hey, maybe Hamas is freedom fighters. A neighbor stops seeing terrorism as evil. That's the cost of letting it slide. And Rogan, he's been sliding for years. So I want to close it out with this. This episode should be required viewing for anyone who's still thinking that all voices are equal. They're not. And some people earn the right to speak and others just grab the mic and hope no one notices that they've got nothing intelligent to bring. And Douglas Murray noticed. And this one here isn't just about Rogan. I want to be very clear about that. It's about the culture that he helped build. The way we elevated vibes over facts, confidence over truth. And in my opinion, that age is dying. And this is a reminder that facts still cut through the noise, even on Rogan. I want to thank you guys for watching this one. It was an absolute pleasure watching Murray tear up Dave Smith. Dave, you got to get off the microphone, dog. You have no idea what you're talking about. Wikipedia isn't intelligence. Guys, do me a favor. If you're a fan of the show, hit the link down in the description and grab yourself a 3-pack of Merkava coffee. Every bag sold helps support the mission. It keeps the lights on in the studio. We're completely independently produced. And your support allows me to continue to combat that garbage anti-Israel misinformation and propaganda that's out there while bringing you guys no-nonsense, cutting-edge analysis of the Mideast, counterterrorism, and national security from an expert. Or if you guys don't drink coffee, join my Season 1 sponsorship team. Down in the description, grab yourself a mini sponsorship package. Start at $25. Help support the mission, and also allows me to keep bringing you guys that cutting-edge analysis by joining the mission and helping sponsor the show. We're completely funded by you, the fans, and the viewers. Hit the link down in the description. Grab yourself a mini sponsorship package. They start at $25 and help me continue to combat that anti-Israel misinformation. Appreciate you guys. I'm Aaron Cohen. You're watching The Aaron Cohen Show, and I will catch you guys on the next one.